Hello everyone, Archangel Wedjo here, and today I'm with Gerald Williams, who got top 16 at the recent regional in Richmond, Virginia. Why don't you tell everyone what you played?
So I played purely. Unfortunately, I didn't get top 8 due to the fact that there were a bunch of times at the end. I got 11th. Not disappointed. I wanted the top 8 because I wanted the Archelino map, but I won't hold you. I played purely, and this was my list.
Damn, no shoutouts or nothing?
I'll do shoutouts at the end always. Say the best for last. So I played 2 Ghost Ogres, 2 Curry Cars, the 1 Shadal Beast, 1 Bigfoot. Bigfoot's just really good against Castera. It outs a Rise Hard every time. So that way when I drop a body, if I do it during draw phase, when I play the spell, I lose the spell in the Bigfoot, but the Bigfoot always deals with the Rise Art. So therefore I can search before we've gotten to standby phase and I don't have to worry about Ephemera unless they happen to have one on the board. I'm playing a blind second build, so the best blind second card in existence, that's a monster, Pankratops. 2 Ash.
Two as Gerald.
So if we get to a point where Branded isn't as prevalent, this card gets cut. Ash is, while it's a nice card, Ash hasn't had as much effort and as much power. Please take it off the feet. It hasn't had as much effort as we would like to see since Branded format, really. Like Ash and Branded just turns down the whole turn. There's not a card. The best format and the best hand trap in the format currently is Droll. This card literally shuts down too many people's game. Like it just ends their board state and doesn't make them allowed to make anything prevalent.
How often did your Droll get gammed?
Maybe twice. Normally because I tried to wait. Outside of the occasion that I was okay with giving my opponent 2 cards, knowing that, especially against Super Heavy, knowing that they wouldn't be able to search anymore after that. If I gave them the monster, like I was okay with Wakasuchi playing it and then playing Benkei and watching Benkei search, and then knowing for a fact the Droll was resolving because they can't play called by. Black Cat, this is the best one, that's why it's a once per turn. The white one's not once per turn. It's also really good, but they made sure to limit the best one.
You sure there's no bias?
Oh, there's definitely bias, but I won't even talk about it right now. Moving on to the traps real quick, just because we play so many spells. Playing one of the Yeet at 1. So the last Richmond Regional, I wasn't playing this. I was playing the Shufflers, but there just really hasn't been as much Branded, and you still want to keep your grind game match up to something. So playing this is just really good to shuffle back in. It also works really well if someone's playing Bestials. You have this, then you just chain the trap, which is almost like a pseudo Shuffler. Triple Imperm, and then double Evenly. I like this card because it allows me to just deal with boards, but with Super Heavy being so prevalent and ending with several Omni Negates, I don't like this as much anymore. For spells, this is just too powerful. Change of Heart. So Change of Heart against Casters is extremely broken, especially when they go start of their turn, Arise Heart anything, or start of turn Caster Shangri-La, because we're also playing, of course, the talents, and we're playing Thrust. So I'm guaranteed to go search this Change of Heart. So it gives me a lot of answers. And then for all the staples, in my opinion, 3 My Friend Purely. It's amazing because it literally gave a Mirror Jade to a baby deck. Level 1s needed something powerful like that. Triple Delicious Memory, Triple Pretty, Triple Sleepy, and Triple Happy. And I'll touch on each one really quickly. The 2 best ones are Sleepy and Pretty because they're the only ones that allow you to guarantee, even if you go first, to start in the draw phase versus Happy and Delicious, which is why I prefer to go second, because you would not believe how many times I open these bitches and not these. And so then I have to be like, they're not getting me where I want to go, unfortunately. So, but I do like all of these. These are all the staples that are necessary.
So how many engine cards? I noticed you're on the field spell. It's 22, right?
Jesus. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, yeah, 22.
So why not the field spell?
So the field spell, I would say, would have been more powerful if we weren't in a format where people realize the best hand trap against Purrely is pseudo either Ash on their spell when they're on resource game, or specifically Ghost Ogre for when they declare the effect, especially on the black one because it's once per turn, because it's the best one. And so it's once per turn, so if you Ogre it, then they lose the resource game that they want. And so the field spell doesn't protect from Ogre, and it doesn't protect from anything that destroys for card effect. So Omni Negate, it doesn't protect from, and so it just hurts. So that's the main deck. Main deck's 43. Yeah. But I'm also playing blind second. So therefore, the 3 extra cards, I really just want to open a card that says, deal with your board.
That's fair. Do you think you'd like run Nessie to search Bigfoot a bit more? Do you think it was that good? Or do you just kind of like the one of like, if you draw it, you draw it?
I like the one of because we were also playing the...
Just having like 2 cards, one for going first, one for going second.
Because we were also playing the Curry Cars.
Yeah.
And the Curry Cars, which I guess I just feel like everyone knows, so I try not to touch on them. But the fact that they're fairies and the fact that it's just like a free summon based off of against Cashier is just like exceptionally like broken. And then for the extra deck, first off, the best field centers in the world, it's your boy Lucario. So we're playing 2 of the big ones, the Noir, the dark one, one of the happiness, one of happiness, 1 beauty, 2 plumps, 1 downer, 1 night symbol, double Zeus. These are all the egg seeds. Noir is really important just due on the fact that it's the one that allows you to avoid your making rush plays. It forces your opponent to play into the Noir more than they realize. Like when you get, especially if you have 7 materials, when you have the 7 materials, forces your opponent to combat. And if they don't have a way into a kaiju or a way to deal with this, it forces them to really figure out a way to deal with this, because they know that if they attempt to go in their board line plays, it's just going to get put face to the bottom of their extra deck.
Having it be an interruption and still be unaffected is just really powerful.
Yes. This is also really good, having it being big as all get up. Normally, if you have the 5 or 7 materials on this, then that means this is gaining 21 normally. So then it's at 46 and it's burning for 15. You not... Now, and if you can get a double delicious thing, you're just killing them. Everyone knows the happiness OTK. If you don't, happiness is just free as all get up, because literally it just says half a monster's attack. So if you go delicious into happy, OTK. To play more links, I had to cut one of these, so I cut beauty to 1. Beauty's not bad. Really, it's the spell card that's the best part of it. It's just eating a card. Obviously, double Zeus, Nightingale, and then Downward Magician.
How often did you make the second plum? Do you feel like that's still worth it over second beauty or second happiness?
So I like making the second plump. More times than not, I chose to make a second plump for 2 reasons. 1, plumps inherent effect, in my opinion, it's eat effect, is the best in my opinion. Banishing a monster non-targeting to the end phase is free. And so I like that the most. Because happiness just bounces spells and traps, so it's only really good against lab or something. Beauty, changing the battle position. My opponent is about to out beauty before they get to the battle phase, so that's not really gonna happen. So then for the links, I chose to be spicy. These 2 aren't really that spicy. This is just fairies, and because we're playing Curry Car, it's really good. This is just so you can out problems. And then this here, also, it's necessary. This could be any link 1. It's just so when you have 2 cats, because this specifically says 2 monsters with different types, you can link off one of the cats into your link 1, and then link the other 2 into this. Really, this is your out to a floodgate inherently.
How often did you make it? Did you feel like it was worth it rather than just hard losing those games? Which sounds dumb, but I don't know. It feels like you're going really minus to make it.
Well, so for me, I think the thing is, if I'm playing into skill drain, the deck hard loses to a skill drain. The deck hard loses to a Tikaboo, or even sometimes a rivalry. Not a rivalry, a Gozen. I get that. And so Labyrinth can really abuse Gozen. And I played against a lab player who was playing Gozen, and I didn't even think of Gozen. And I was like, oh, I literally can't make anything. And so I had to actually normal summon light, pitch summon a light. And mind you, I did miss on both my whites, which is really depressing. Teardrop for the white one that's not once returned. And then link them into this so I could deal with that. But it was okay. The black cat, which is once returned, got me to a plump, and they got me to everything I need. The best card.
We can talk about how we played this one. I don't see any Dark Lord cards in the main deck.
Well, it has this effect that says game 500 favorite fairy. So I don't, even though we're in 45 minutes, the mirror match, which is ironically also really good. People are still playing Heraldry, pay 15.
For some reason.
And this here has something that I need. It is a dark, it is a fairy, and it keeps my noir from leaving the board. Because I don't know how other people do it, but sometimes it's really hard to have the hand resource to be able to set a spell card and have a discard at hand to guarantee to summon out the dark one to dodge heraldry. So I just chose
because you weren't playing like a rank 1 to make turn 1, were you?
No.
So you just make that instead?
Correct. That's my other thing. I prefer to just gain the life points, especially because you're always paying 5 turn 1, or at least you should be, off of my friend. If you're not, and you're choosing the trap over my friend, something's wrong with you. So I definitely want to shout out, of course, my sponsor, White Dragon Games. I want to shout out the locals where I play at, which is White Dragon, Dream Days, and Well Played Games. And all the people that I get to test with, of course, they know who they are. Shouts out to the guy that's letting me do this video on his channel, Trevor. While he is definitely a weirdo, he's a cool guy. Thank you very much.
Damn, gotta call me out. All right, well, thank you for that.